Hi, welcome back to Creative Tuesdays with Liz. Today is a special video that we'll be doing. The Heiress Foundation and C. Lancaster are promoting two videos. The first will be today, it will be a monster-inspired face mask. And the second one will be an animal-inspired face mask. So just thank them, the Heiress Foundation and C. Lancaster, for promoting this and safety and wellness in the community. And also thanks to Learn TV for airing our videos and showing them. So today we will be creating a monster-inspired face mask. The first thing that you'll need is your mask, first of all. It can be a solid color, it can be solid white, any kind of, mask, a reusable mask that you would like to get. You would need that. You will either need paint and paint brushes, or you could use some paint pens or fabric pens, and also permanent markers like Sharpies work as well for these. Now when getting ready to paint on the face mask, we're going to need to create a form for the mask to go around, because since it's made to fit on our faces, we won't be able to lay it down flat to paint and get our design on it that we want to. So you can create a form. So you'll need just to make a little form to put it on, and this is only just to make it easier and just a smoother way for you to get your design onto your mask. So you can get a towel, just a small towel, and we'll ball it up and get you a plastic grocery bag, and we'll put it in there. And we'll just kind of ball that up. And then you'll need some clamps or pegs or something to hold it down on. So we've got our form here. And then we will just wrap our mask around it so our mask can sit on that. And we'll clamp it closed here. I might need a bigger one. So kind of clamp that closed, and then you can wrap your mask around it so that you will be able to easily paint your design onto your mask. So with the monster-inspired face mask, you can think about what color of skin do you want your monster to have, or what kind of mouth? Do you want it open, closed? Do you want him to have teeth? What about a tongue, a nose, or anything else that you would like to add, like maybe a wart or scales or something like that on it. So the first thing you'll do is we'll get our mouth shape on. And if you'd like, you can use a pencil to kind of sketch it out and then go over it. That might be an easier way. But we will get our mouth laid out. And thinking about a mouth shape, I think I'm going to do a mouth shape one with a tongue kind of coming out. So let's see. We'll get some lime green. I'm going to use some of this limey green color to do a mouth shape for this monster. And again, his mouth is going to be open. So let's see. We'll get the mouth shape painted on. So I'm going to have his mouth open. And since I'm going to have a tongue sticking out, I'm not going to close it up across the bottom yet. So, yep, these lime green lips for this monster here. And then his mouth will be open. Now you'll find some different ways painting on it. If you're going to want, or you'll have more control over your design, and it will just kind of look more crisp if you paint it on a dry face mask. You could also, if it's wet, it will just kind of, the colors will more just kind of bleed together and it'll look more kind of like a blobby tie-dyed instead of a crisp monster design. But if that's the look that you want to go for, that is absolutely fine. You can definitely go for that look. But so here's my monster's mouth. It's open here. I know it doesn't really look like a monster mouth yet. Right now it kind of looks like a frog. So there's his mouth open, and then I'm going to get his tongue in. I'm going to give him a pinkishy kind of colored tongue with maybe a little bit of purple in it. All right, and then I'll get his tongue kind of coming out here. And see, it just makes it easier to paint since we've got it kind of out on this form. Because it would be very, very hard to kind of lay flat and get into all the crease areas and everything. So I think I'm going to let this monster have kind of like a split snake tongue. So I'll let him have a split tongue there. And just kind of keep adding that out. And you know, if your brush is wet, your paint will kind of smooth out more. Less will go longer. Again, so you might want to make sure your brush is just kind of, you know, wet enough to help your colors to spread out well. So I'm going to fill in the rest of this tongue. And then I'll go back and close in the mouth across the bottom. And I think I want my monster to have some sharp looking teeth too. Almost some kind of fangs kind of thing. So, all right, I've almost got the tongue all done in. There we go. So he's got his snake tongue, his mouth's kind of open. All right, now I'm going to go in and I'm going to just kind of come and close up the bottom of the mouth there. And so I'll use the same color that I've used for the lips up here. And I'm just going to kind of come across, make his bottom lip there. There we go. All right, so those are his lips. And then you can go back and kind of straighten out some lines if it looks a little kind of blobbed out and spread out. You can kind of crisp some of those lines up and make them look more defined. The next thing you can think about, so we've got our mouth, the lips, some teeth. What kind of teeth do you want your monster to have? So I think I want this monster to kind of have some yellowish, a little bit of dingy teeth. So we'll just kind of put some sharp teeth going in around the lips here. And I'm just going to let him have a mouth full of teeth. Instead of just, you could choose to have just fangs coming down or a whole lot of sharp teeth. So yeah, so we got mouth, lips, teeth is something to think about if you got a tongue on there. So, oh, here we go. We're getting these dingy, yellowy looking teeth. I guess monsters don't ever brush their teeth or visit the dentist since they got these dirty looking kind of teeth. So I'll have them coming all up on the top here, because like I said, I want him to have a mouthful. Almost kind of like sharks have like just teeth all in their mouth. I want this monster to have a mouthful of teeth. So we'll keep adding some teeth in there. And then some little ones back on the side here to kind of just show just exactly how much is in there. And then we'll have his teeth coming across the bottom there. His bottom lip. And the same thing, I'm just going to have kind of like a mouthful of teeth. Some little ones right there on the corners of his mouth, and then they'll get bigger the closer to the front of his mouth they are. And you don't have to have a scary monster. You could make yours kind of like a goofy, silly looking monster. There was this game I used to play when I was younger called Monster Mash. And you hit this thing and the monsters would spin and you would look for the cards that matched that monster. But they were kind of silly, goofy looking monsters with maybe some horns or some teeth. But it wasn't anything really, really scary. So if you wanted to go for more a silly monster, you can definitely have a silly kind of monster for yours. All right, so we're almost finished with the teeth on the bottom here. All right, now the inside of his mouth is going to kind of be dark, like just kind of got some dark shadows up in there, like his mouth is going to just swallow you and it's an endless pit to go down to his stomach. So I'm going to make it kind of like a dark blue back in there with a little bit of kind of green. I like to mix colors. So I'm going to put a little dark blue, a little dark green, and a little bit of black. And I'm going to kind of get my brush a little bit more wet than I have on the other parts, just so that I can kind of make sure it spreads out and gets in between the teeth like I want it to. So, and then we'll fill in all that area. And like I said, if you are using, it's fine if you're using paint pens or fabric pens or permanent markers, those work just as well too. I'll show you one done with permanent Sharpie markers, because I did one making with the markers, and it turns out really good too. Gonna go and fill in his mouth. Get my brush kind of good and wet so this will kind of spread and go far. See, I hope y'all can see this kind of. So I'm just kind of now going in and filling in that area between his teeth, and that's just kind of like the background of his mouth. You might think about if you wanted your monster to just have eaten something, maybe there's some blood stains on the teeth. You can put some red blood stains on his teeth if you want to. There's all kinds of different things you can think about when you're going to create your monster. There's so many different parts that you can add to it and everything. Get my brush a little bit more wet. Get in between these teeth really good here. Oh, I think this is going to look really good. These will look really neat. And if you wear them, you know, out to school or to the grocery store with anybody, and, you know, people will look at them and they'll say stuff, you can let them know you made this yourself. So it's fun to get creative and just kind of make some things. So there we go, is the monster mouth painted on with his tongue sticking out. You could, like I said, if you wanted to add some red spots on the teeth, like it's blood. So this one was done with paint and a paintbrush. This one I did with permanent Sharpie markers. This one does have some blood on the teeth there. So it's good. You can use permanent markers, the paint pens, the paint. There's any number of ways you could use to paint these. Next week, we will come together and create another face mask. We will make a animal-inspired face mask. And again, this is promoted by the Heiress Foundation and C. Lancaster, and Learn TV is going to air these as well. And so we just want to thank them and hopefully our community coming together. But if you did paint a face mask, we would really, really, really love for you to put it on and take a picture and post it on social media and tag us, the Lancaster County Council of the Arts, and just let us know and see kind of the monster mask that everyone's created. We'll see you next week. Thanks.